The issue that I wanted to talk about is being child free by choice. Now, this topic has been viewed as something controversial, especially since the New York Times Magazine cover on was released in 2013, and I don't understand why that is. This is just about a bunch of people who don't want to have children, and now since I am no longer willing to remain secretive, I am officially going to point it out on record that I no longer want to have children. For the longest time, I've wanted to have kids, a wife, and two beautiful children. I wanted to get married very young, and I wanted to have my first child by the time I was 25, and my second child by the time I was 27. Now, I had some very unrealistic standards and goals, and I mean, it hasn't come to fruition. And here I am now, at age 29, not married, single, and I do not have a child. Now, I wanted to have a child when I was like much, much younger, like 22, 23, 25 at the least, as like a minimum age requirement for being a young parent. But seeing as though that, I'm gonna approach 30 by next year, it's definitely safe to say that that's too young, that's too old to be a young parent, in my opinion. I feel that the younger you are as a parent, the more the more energy you'll have, the more strength you'll have. You can actually you actually have more time and more energy to use up when it comes to playing with your kids and spending more quality time with them, because being with kids, like, kids takes a lot of time and energy. It's Being a parent is not exactly an easy thing. They say it takes a village to raise a child, and I can understand why they're saying it, because it's not an easy task. Many people go into the idea that it's all fun and games, but they don't realize that you have to make a lot of sacrifices, and you know you have to be financially, emotionally, and mentally prepared for this task, because, like I said, it's not all fun and games. You have to worry about paying for their schools, and paying for their college tuition as they get older somewhere down the road. And kids, they don't stay cute forever. I love children with all my heart, and I want to work with kids. I do. That's like my passion. That's what I aim to strive for. But that's not to say that I love them so much that I want to have like uh, a family that's enough to make the whole house look like a daycare center. Because as I've gotten older, the less interest I've had in wanting kids of my own. When I was 21, I wanted to have kids. But as I've gotten older, I mean, I started to get on the fence a little bit. But this this decision to remain child free was as recent as 2 years ago. 2 years ago is when I decided that I no longer want to have children. And I was 27 years old at that time. And now that I'm 29, looking back on it, I can honestly say that, you know what? I'm almost 30, and I feel that being 30 years old is too old to have a child, is too old to be a young parent, if I should say. And I already feel like a dad. I'm an uncle of 9 kids. I've been taking care of babies since I was 12 years old. I've been an uncle since I was 10. Why is it that I should bring more kids into the family to leave behind a legacy or whatever it is that may be? I mean, I do love kids, don't get me wrong. But especially in my culture where I'm from, this coming from a man of African descent, it's definitely safe to say that once you get married, you are expected to have kids right off the bat. You know, three, four, 5 kids, maybe two or one. And to be honest with you, you know, um, I can understand why some people would react a certain way, but I don't want to have children anymore. That was my desire, but this is no longer something that I want anymore. Now you see, People have their own reasons for wanting to have kids. People have their own reasons for wanting to remain child free. Some people may have reasons such as, how they don't want to pass down illnesses or diseases that ran in their families for generations, and they don't want to pass that down when they have kids of their own, like schizophrenia, heart disease, cancer, or whatever it is. That's a very understandable thing. So I think it's safe to say that there is no need to get all riled up and overreact over something like this. It's just a preference. It's something people wish to do. You know, um, I think that people are overreacting over something so diminutive. And if people want to have kids, I'm not going to judge them negatively for it. That's their desire. I will respect their wishes. And I've had many people that I've known personally who ended up having kids, and I congratulated them and I told them I wish you the best of luck. But here's the thing: when someone says they don't want to have kids, the first thing that comes out of their mouth is like, "Oh, okay, you're just being selfish, or you might change your mind, or you're gonna regret it later on down the road." From my experience, people that I've personally known, they actually told me that, don't do what I did because you're gonna end up regretting it. You're gonna feel resentful for having kids and facing a responsibility that you weren't even prepared for. Now, having kids, it takes preparation, it takes time, it takes money, because kids are expensive. They're not exactly some cheap thing you can buy at Walmart. Uh, it's it's something that's, very, very, something that requires a lot of work, and it's a task that you have to be mentally, emotionally, and financially prepared to handle. And I feel like a lot of people who have kids, they don't think twice, especially those who have unplanned pregnancies. But on the other hand, I thought about this for years and I made my decision. I've been very firm with this decision that I don't want to have children anymore. And I actually thought twice about it because I had years and years and years to think about this. And believe me, I'm totally fine with my stance. And I can honestly say that I am a proud uncle of 9 kids that I love dearly. And I am very content with this decision. I can't ask for anything more. Not only am I content with this decision, but I'm very content with my life. I don't have that much money. I don't have a great net worth. And, I think it's safe to say that, I'm very happy with the way things are going so far in my life. My life could be better, but that's not to say that, oh, if things go super well, then I'm just going to have kids. Even if I had billions of dollars, I still wouldn't want to have children. I still wouldn't. Because it's not a matter of money, it's a personal desire too. But a lot of people don't think about it. They just think like, oh, you have to get married, you get a career, get married, and then you have kids. Or like nowadays, people have kids and they don't get married, and it's fine. It's if that's what they want to do, whatever. But my thing is that I'm not interested. Um, I'm always gonna love children. I want to work with them, and I am not gonna change my mind on what kind of career I want. But I'm going to be 30 years old next year, and I'm still single at age 29. I think it's definitely safe to say that with that said and done, there's no need for me to have children. I had a change of heart on this issue long ago, and I'm very content with the way things are. Life is good. Life is always going to be good. I'm not going to assume that life is going to be better once I have children of my own. It's really that plain simple. But I will say this though. You can't assume that I'm selfish because I don't want to have kids, because I actually thought twice about this decision. And I had years to think about it. Second point is that when it comes to being child free by choice, I can't do something by forcing myself to do it. Because that way I'm not going to be happy with myself. Third, when it comes down to it, as far as being child free is concerned, I would prefer to be younger if I'm going to be a father. Somewhere between age 24 or 25, that's like the perfect age to be a father, or perhaps maybe even 23. The younger you are as a parent, the more energy the more energy you'll have playing with your own children, and the easier it is to relate to your kids because you're younger. But I'm almost 30. I don't think it's going to be easier for me to relate to children in this aspect at all whatsoever. See? So I can honestly say that I encourage a lot of men to speak out on their views on being child free because I see more women posting videos about being child free by choice more so than the men. And we need more men to speak out on this because it's always this attention is always set on the woman. But yet again, the woman receives more backlash for saying that she doesn't want to have kids. But so far, nobody has called me selfish. No one has assumed that I was being greedy or being too self centered or whatever it is. No one has made the assumption that I hate children because I love kids very much. And besides, I'm actually, like I said, aiming towards that goal of having a career with children. But I think it's definitely safe to say that children are wonderful. They are a precious gift to Earth. But that's not to say that I love them so much that I want some of my very own. And that's how it is. Thank you guys for watching this video. I appreciate it. I look forward to seeing your comments and your responses. Have a nice day, everyone. Take care.